At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the most iconic movie insults to use in everyday situations.
That may be the first time in my life a man has dared insult me.
It won't be the last.
Number 20. You're a virgin who can't drive. Clueless. Want to cut to the heart of someone? Call them a virgin and make fun of their lack of driving habits. It's as easy as that. It certainly cuts to the heart of poor Cher as Ty preys on her deepest insecurities and vulnerabilities.
You're a virgin who can't drive.
Brittany Murphy's delivery of the line is brilliantly scathing, and Cher's tear-filled reaction speaks volumes. Way harsh, indeed. The line has been immortalized in pop culture, appearing on various pieces of merchandise and being wildly shared on social media in the form of GIFs and memes.
Look, I'm really sorry. Let's just talk when we've mellowed, all right? I'm outie.
Number 19. There's nothing more pathetic than an aging hipster. Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery. If there's one thing that many people are insecure about, it's their age. It's a touchy subject, and man, does Dr. Evil take full advantage of it.
I've got you now, Dr. Evil.
Well done, Mr. Powers. We're not so different, you and I.
His target is Austin Powers, a man perpetually stuck in the late 1960s. Granted, he was frozen in time, so he has an excuse. But his fashion sensibilities and casual misogyny are way outdated come the 90s, and Dr. Evil attacks like a bloodthirsty shark.
There's nothing more pathetic than an aging hipster.
All right, Baldy. Shut your cake hole.
His words clearly cut deep as Austin, an otherwise fun-loving and shoulder-shrugging kind of guy, takes great offense. Who doesn't wish to use this when the situation arises? Number 18. Keep the change, you filthy animal. Home Alone. Okay, no, we don't actually say this while we're tipping someone, and we hope you don't either.
Who is it?
It's me, Snakes. I got the stuff.
Leave it on the doorstep and get the hell out of here.
But come on, who amongst us hasn't said that to a friend or family member? Especially around the holidays when Home Alone is fresh in mind? The famous insult comes via Johnny, the fictional gangster in the violent movie that Kevin watches.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
It's not only Johnny's signature quip, but one of the most iconic lines in the entire movie. It's part of the cultural lexicon, and it was even made into a song by American rock band All Time Low. Number 17. That's because it's on you, dear. Sleeping Beauty. You hear Sleeping Beauty, you expect the zinger to come from Maleficent. While she certainly has a few good ones in her repertoire, this one comes courtesy of Flora, the leader of the three good fairies.
It's pink. Oh, lovely shade, isn't it? But I wanted it blue. Now, dear, we decided pink was our color. You decided.
Merriweather tries on Aurora's dress in progress, but isn't happy with the results, claiming that it looks awful. Flora's response is so blazing hot that someone could call the fire department. Seriously, the casual meanness of this remark is just extraordinary.
It looks awful. That's because it's on you, dear.
Of course, that hasn't stopped people from repeating it. In a joking manner, of course. Right? Right? Number 16. You sit on a throne of lies. Elf. Everyone has thrown out this iconic line at least once in their lives. Buddy is expecting the real Santa to appear at Gimbel's, but he's disappointed to find that it's just some random guy.
Who the heck are you?
What are you talking about? I'm Santa Claus.
No, you're not.
Instead of letting the matter go, or realizing that he has been hired to impersonate Santa, he confronts the man in front of all the children. The result is movie history, with Will Ferrell delivering one brilliant insult after another. This is the best one, of course, a remark that will be repeated every Christmas season from now until the end of time.
You sit on a throne of lies. Look, I'm not kidding. You're a fake. I'm a fake?
Yes.
How'd you like to be dead?
Number 15. If my dog was as ugly as you, I'd shave his butt and tell him to walk backwards. The Sandlot. The "You're So Ugly" joke is ancient, with countless iterations and creative punchlines. One of the best we've heard comes via The Sandlot, a coming-of-age comedy about kids finding friendship through baseball.
Come on! We'll take you on right here, right now! Come on! Yeah, right now! We plan a real diamond, Porter. We ain't good enough to lick the dirt off our cleats. Watch it, jerk.
The Sandlot kids play a Little League team, and the insults are tossed around faster than the baseball. Most of the good ones come via Hamilton Porter, who confronts the batters from his position as catcher. He's a master at this kind of thing, with the magnificent dog insult standing out from the pack.
You know, if my dog was as ugly as you, I'd shave his butt and tell him to walk backwards.
It's the type of creative insult you hope to craft yourself one day. Number 14. If I wanted a joke, I'd follow you into the John and watch you take a leak. Planes, trains, and automobiles. A lot of men are insecure about one thing. We'll give you 3 guesses as to what. Steve Martin is a master of the offhanded insult, with most of his characters being sarcastic jerks.
Look, I have had just about enough of you. Now take your seat.
Oh, you've had about enough of me. First you delay me, then you bump me. I can't wait to see what happens next.
One of the meanest is Neil Page, the grumpy executive from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And while most of his scathing retort is aimed squarely at Del Griffith, his target this time is a cab dispatcher who's just trying to help. The insult wipes the smile off the cabbie's face, and it's enough to get Neil a nice knuckle sandwich.
If I wanted a joke, I'd follow you into the John and watch you take a leak. Now, are you gonna help me, or are you gonna stand there like a slab of meat with mittens?
It's a good insult, we'll grant him, but that punch was a long time coming. Number 13. If I gave you any thought, I probably would. Casablanca. There's a very famous scene from Mad Men in which Don Draper tells Ginsberg that he never thinks about him. It's a great sequence, but what some people may not realize is that it's an iteration of a comeback that came 7 decades earlier.
You are a very cynical person, Rick. If you forgive me for saying so.
I forgive you.
Thank you. Will you have a drink with me, please?
No.
It's delivered by the legendary Rick Blaine, the protagonist of Casablanca. Ugarte asks Rick if he despises him, to which Rick volleys back one of the greatest insults in movie history.
Hell, if I gave you any thought, I probably would.
It's not only ice cold, but it's one of the greatest lines in a script full of bangers. Number 12. No, the definition of the word idiot, which you bleeping are. Kiss, kiss, bang, bang. The look up X in a dictionary joke is as old as, well, dictionaries probably, but leave it to Shane Black to subvert the formula and deliver one of its greatest punchlines in the process.
You gotta roll out of here before the cops come. Come on.
Nix, we go right to the cops.
Oh, exactly, to the cops who'll have no trouble believing that she broke her neck before you shot her in the head.
What?
The line is just beyond brilliant, and it's delivered with impeccable comedic timing by Val Kilmer. It has certainly been repeated by fans of the movie, usually at the expense of a good friend who has done something particularly stupid.
Look up idiot in the dictionary. You know what you'll find?
A picture of me?
No! The definition of the word idiot, which you f***ing are.
Even people who haven't seen the movie know this line through sheer cultural osmosis. It's just that good. Number 11. You are literally too stupid to insult. The Hangover. Everyone loves sending a good insult to their silly friends, and this may be one of the very best. It's masterfully delivered by Ed Helms, as Stu is insulting the generally absent-minded Alan.
I don't know, because I don't remember.
Stu, keep it down.
Stu sarcastically remarks that he can't remember anything because of the roofies that Alan gave them. Alan doesn't quite get it and proclaims that memory loss is a side effect of roofie intake. It's then that the disbelieving Stu delivers his fantastic comeback, which is capped by Alan's simple and hilarious "thank you."
You were literally too stupid to insult.
Thank you.
We don't know what's funnier, the insult itself or Alan's response to it. Number 10. To call you stupid would be an insult to stupid people. A Fish Called Wanda. John Cleese and Charles Crichton received an Oscar nomination for writing this comedy, and it's all thanks to this single line. Okay, not really, but we wouldn't be surprised if it played a big role.
Now, was that smart?
Okay.
Was it shrewd? Was it good tactics, or was it stupid?
Don't call me stupid.
This insult has John Cleese written all over it, being very dry and portraying his trademark British wit. It's such a simple bit of trash talk, but sometimes the simplest things are the best things.
To call you stupid would be an insult to stupid people!
And not only is it a great line, but Jamie Lee Curtis sells it with absolute conviction. Try as we might, we just can't recapture her passion when we say it. Number 9. You're a fat loser and you have body odor. School of Rock. A major reason for School of Rock's success is its incredible cast of child actors, including Robert Tye as Lawrence, aka Mr. Cool. Lawrence is the quiet one in class, which only makes his insult cut that much deeper.
You ever played keyboards? Any techno?
No, I only play piano.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Dewey tries getting the class angry enough to write a rock song, so he asks them to tell him off. What follows are pretty generic attacks, none of which seem to hurt. That is, until Lawrence rocks Schneebly with a wounding remark from the back of the room.
You're a fat loser and you have body odor.
All right. Now is everyone nice and pissed off?
You couldn't step foot in a 2003 classroom without hearing this. Number 8. You're so ugly, you could be a modern art masterpiece. Full Metal Jacket. While the entire film is obviously great, most people remember Full Metal Jacket for its first half, in which Gunnery Sergeant Hartman scares the boys into shape.
From now on, you will speak only when spoken to, and the first and last words out of your filthy sewers will be sir. Do you maggots understand that?
Hartman is played by Arlie Ermey, who was a real Marine Corps drill instructor in the 1960s. A good chunk of Hartman's dialogue was either written or improvised by Ermey, who obviously had tons of experience insulting recruits. His affronts are simply extraordinary, both wildly creative and superbly delivered.
Did your parents have any children that lived?
Sir, yes, sir.
I bet they regret that. You're so ugly you could be a modern art masterpiece. What's your name, fat body?
Sir, Leonard Lawrence, sir.
Lawrence what, of Arabia?
Sir, no, sir.
Most of them are directed at poor Leonard Lawrence, including this ingenious bit of humiliation. We don't know how the cast kept a straight face. Number 7. You stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder. Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. There isn't a Star Wars fan who hasn't said this at least once in their lives. It's just too good to pass up.
It's a good story. I think you just can't bear to let a gorgeous guy like me out of your sight.
I don't know where you get your delusions, laser brain.
Princess Leia goes for Han's throat, unleashing one of the greatest bits of slander in movie history. It's a non-stop barrage of scorn, but of course, it all comes from the heart. We think. The words themselves are amusing, but it's Carrie Fisher's performance that really drives the point home. Each word more angrily pronounced than the last.
Why, you stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder!
Who's scruffy looking?
Of course, Han takes it mostly in stride, only taking offense to the scruffy-looking comment. Number 6. What you've just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Billy Madison. We've all seen that feel-good drama where the protagonist makes an impassioned speech, impresses all in the crowd, and is met with enthusiastic cheers and a standing ovation.
Okay. The Industrial Revolution to me is just like a story I know called The Puppy Who Lost His Way.
Well, this isn't that kind of movie. Billy is asked to explain how the Industrial Revolution changed the modern novel. He, not knowing anything about literature or the Industrial Revolution, gives a rambling response that doesn't make a lick of sense. He only gets a cheer by mentioning the school's football team, and the moderator unleashes one of the greatest takedowns we've ever heard.
Mr. Madison, what you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
We're still quoting it to this day. Number 5. You are a sad, strange little man, and you have my pity. Toy Story. Buzz Lightyear is a legendary character, spouting many classic lines and being voiced to perfection by Tim Allen.
Excuse me, I think the word you're searching for is Space Ranger.
The word I'm searching for, I can't say, because there's preschool toys present.
Writing and vocal talent combine in this splendid insult, which is aimed at Woody after he has his meltdown. As kids, this line didn't seem so funny and never really stood out. We preferred Woody's iconic,
"You are a toy!"
The wild arm gestures probably have something to do with that, But the older we get, the funnier this line becomes. And you better believe that we quote it more often than we probably should.
You are a sad, strange little man, and you have my pity. Farewell.
Number 4. I'll explain, and I'll use small words so that you'll be sure to understand. The Princess Bride. As mean as it is to say, this quote is fantastic in the right context. It's also guaranteed to get a laugh, even if the target hasn't seen Princess Bride.
To the death.
No! To the pain.
I don't think I'm quite familiar with that phrase.
I'll explain, and I'll use small words so that you'll be sure to understand.
This cult classic is widely acclaimed for its script, and many of its lines have become famous in the general pop culture lexicon. It was even named the 84th best screenplay of all time by the Writers Guild of America, which may have been aided by its sheer meme-worthiness.
I think you're bluffing.
It's possible, pig. I might be bluffing. It's conceivable, you miserable vomitous mass. I'm only lying here because I lack the strength to stand.
It's hard for specific quotes to stand out when seemingly every line is a winner, but this fun bit of trash talk manages to do it. Number 3. You know, morons. Blazing Saddles. Comedies don't get more acclaimed than Blazing Saddles. It's in the National Film Registry. It was nominated for 3 Oscars, and it was eventually named the 6th funniest movie of all time by the American Film Institute.
What did you expect? Welcome, Sonny. Make yourself at home. Marry my daughter.
The screenplay is particularly noteworthy, being written by icons like Mel Brooks and Richard Pryor. Gene Wilder delivers one of the best jibes in movie history, disparaging the common folk of the American frontier. And we have to say, it's a perfect insult to use when the situation calls for it.
These are people of the land. The common clay of the New West. You know. Morons.
Cleavon Little certainly thought it was funny, judging by that genuine laugh. Number 2. Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape. Planet of the Apes. Franklin J. Schaffner's masterpiece is known for a few things: the ape makeup, the famous twist ending, and of course, this endlessly quotable bit of dialogue. It's easily one of the most popular lines in all of cinema, and it has undoubtedly been parodied by millions throughout the preceding decades.
Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape!
Of course, it's also been warped and misquoted throughout the years as well. It's take your stinking paws off me, not get, and it's just a simple damn instead of the more popular damned. Regardless, it's been a pop culture mainstay since the movie's release in 1968, and we can see why. It's a damn good line.
It's a madhouse! A madhouse!
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. I fart in your general direction. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. If there was a record for most quoted movie of all time, it would probably go to Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Now stand aside, worthy adversary.
'Tis but a scratch.
A scratch? Your arm's off.
No, it isn't.
Well, what's that then?
I've had worse.
It's considered one of the funniest comedies ever made, and its script is the stuff of legend, much like the Holy Grail itself. Every line is quotable, including this renowned insult spoken by John Cleese.
I fart in your general direction. Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelt of elderberry.
It doesn't matter if you actually farted. The quote is still hilarious, and it's guaranteed to get a laugh every single time. Everyone loves a good fart joke, and this is one of the best. Do you have any other movie insults you pull out on occasion? Let us know in the comments below.
I've known sheep that could outwit you. I've worn dresses with higher IQs.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.